Let's begin by looking at some prima facie reasons for why atheism could cause people to feel depression. One is, all people know they have broken God's law, and only Jesus provides salvation. Another is, atheism deprives people of the joy of knowing God. The thing about both of these reasons is that these are religious reasons. An atheist is not going to consider these valid reasons for why atheism could cause depression, because the atheist does not agree with the worldview in which these reasons actually make any sense. Also, if there is no God, then whatever benefits religion offers might be available to atheists through other means. An atheist might not know the joy of knowing God, per se, but an atheist might still be capable of knowing joy. And this says, all people know they have broken God's law. Actually, atheists would disagree with that. They don't believe they have broken God's law because they don't believe in a God whose law they have broken. And unlike Christians who have been indoctrinated with this idea that they need salvation, many atheists don't see a need for salvation in the same way that Christians do. They don't see themselves perhaps as broken people like some Christians do. So, and even if they do see themselves as broken people, there may be other ways out of this than the salvation provided by Jesus within the framework of Christianity. So, we're not going to take these reasons too seriously. They are religious reasons that atheists may not accept, and we'll move on to some other reasons. Atheists suffer greater amounts of prejudice from family and society. This is generally true. Also, religious practices such as prayer and chanting can stave off depression. This may be true too. However, these are both circumstantial reasons. They do not refer to the essence of what an atheist is. They refer to the circumstances surrounding the lives of atheists. And they may be true more for some atheists than for others. And if you change the circumstances, they'll no longer apply. So, for example, atheists will suffer less prejudice in a secular society. Also, meditation may give atheists the same antidepressive benefits as prayer or chanting. I know from my own practice of meditation that it is very helpful in staving off depression. Through meditation, I can feel bliss and joy and happiness and carry that through with me through the rest of my daily life. And by practicing meditation, I know that I have it within my own power to produce states of bliss and joy whenever I need to. So I don't have to be dependent upon external sources for these feelings. Okay, now we're turning to some psychological reasons for why atheism could cause depression. One is, atheists cannot comfort themselves with the notion that bad things happen for a reason, or that deceased loved ones are now in a better place. Also, atheists find no meaning in life, leading them to sink into nihilism. And third, atheists don't believe in an afterlife, leading to a sense of hopelessness about the future. And regarding the first one, which says atheists cannot comfort themselves with the notion that bad things happen for a reason, or that deceased loved ones are now in a better place, this may be a crutch that helps religious people through hard times, but atheists may still rely on other resources, such as inner strength, a stoic acceptance of hardship, or Buddhist non-attachment. Okay, turning to the next one, atheists find no meaning in life, leading them to sink into nihilism. One response to this is, atheists do not have to rely on finding prefabricated meaning. They may choose to create meaning for themselves. And this position is argued for well in Simone de Beauvoir's book, The Ethics of Ambiguity, and I will refer you to that book if you want to pursue this idea further. Another idea here is that atheists may regard living a good life as meaningful in and of itself, regardless of whether it serves a higher or more heavenly purpose. And here I'm going to recommend the book The Conquest of Happiness by noted atheist Bertrand Russell, in which he's talking about ways to avoid unhappiness and ways to increase happiness so that you can live a happier life. But this video is not on the details of this book. I just mention it in this context. And now we turn to atheists don't believe in an afterlife, leading to a sense of hopelessness about the future. And this is what I'm going to spend the majority of this video addressing. And I'm going to be going over some ideas that I first came up with when I wrote an essay on the myth of Sisyphus for a class on existentialism when I was in college. Okay, let's consider this. If life is worth living, even a short life is worth living. And if life is not worth living, not even eternal life is worth living. So what matters first is whether life is worth living for any duration at all, not how long it will last. As long as life is worth living, an atheist can be happy with this life. If annihilation follows death, and life is worth living, death is just an end of something good, not the start of something evil. In the face of death, an atheist might regret that something good is coming to an end, but as long as it is good, the prospect of death cannot erase its goodness. If anything, the brevity of life can give an atheist cause to find it all the more precious. With the prospect of annihilation before him, an atheist is more likely to appreciate, value, and enjoy what short time he believes he has. In contrast, a Christian who believes in heaven may compare his earthly life with the heavenly life he expects to eventually live, and so remain dissatisfied with his current life. Belief in heaven may give hope to a joyless existence, but can it give joy itself? If you regard life as a prison, which is effectively how many religious people regard it, will the promise of eventual parole be enough to make you happy? Atheists believe that the time to be happy is now, which will lead them to focus on being happy in the here and now. This difference in priorities may actually lead atheists to find more happiness in life than others do. Moreover, atheists are not worried about being tortured in hell. This worry may eat away at some Christians and make them depressed, but not so for atheists. Atheists are also not worried about loved ones going to hell. Even the Christians who have convinced themselves they will go to heaven will likely have loved ones they are not so sure about. At best, belief in an afterlife may give solace to people enduring lives of hardship. Lacking this solace, atheists have to transform hardship, find the strength to endure it, or find a way to cast it off. While some atheists may falter under hardship, it also offers them the opportunity to develop strengths those who lean on crutches might never develop. When I have personally felt depressed, what has kept me going has not been the fear of death, not the fear that I'll be burning in hell if I kill myself, but faith that if I endure the pain, life will be better again. And why am I talking about faith here from an atheist perspective? Well, I'm going to quote Erich Fromm from The Revolution of Hope, who describes faith like this. He says, "Faith is not a weak form of belief or knowledge. It is not faith in this or that. Faith is the conviction about the not yet proven, the knowledge of the real possibility, the awareness of pregnancy. Faith is rational when it refers to the knowledge of the real yet unborn. It is based on the faculty of knowledge and comprehension which penetrates the surface and sees the kernel. Faith, like hope, is not prediction of the future. It is the vision of the present in a state of pregnancy. The idea here for Erich Fromm's understanding of faith is it's rooted in our knowledge of what is actually present. When I have been depressed, I have still been aware of my ability to enjoy life. I've known that that ability is there and would become active again given time. So I allowed myself to endure the pain that I felt during depression. And when the depression lifted, my capacity to enjoy life resurfaced as I understood it would. And I was able to enjoy life again. So here I had faith in my own capacity to enjoy life, and it was borne out. Also, if I fear anything about death, it is that I won't be alive anymore, and I love life enough for this to matter. In the event that I will survive the death of my body in some manner, that is all gain beyond what I fear I may lose. I have faith that no hell of eternal suffering awaits anyone, because my own experience of love and my own sense of justice tell me that a just and loving God would never be so evil. What I might fear, if anything, is not being prepared for the afterlife. But I wasn't prepared for life either, and I have done well enough to make it all worthwhile. So if there is an afterlife, I have faith I'll be okay. In the event that I keep my memories and character in an afterlife, I want to develop wisdom and character in this life. If anything in this life is to benefit me in the next, assuming there is one, it is the wisdom and character to appreciate life and to live a fulfilling and meaningful life now. If I have that when I die, and there is an afterlife, I should be good to go. But since I do love life, and I don't know for sure that anything awaits me beyond it, I hope to go on living for a long time. And here I'm using the description of hope given by Erich Fromm in The Revolution of Hope. To hope means to be ready at every moment for that which is not yet born, and yet not become desperate if there is no birth in our lifetime. And here, my capacity to go on living gives me hope that I am going to go on living for a long time. Here he's talking about birth. He's using the metaphor of pregnancy and birth for both hope and for faith. And the idea here behind hope is to be ready for something that you can feel the pregnancy of, you may say, but it's not yet born. Like, my future life is not here yet, but it will be someday. And my continuing to speak now just bears out what I was just saying. At least for a while. My life has continued on since I was speaking. And I expect my life is going to continue on and on and on for longer periods of time. And hopefully, I'm going to be living a very, very long time. Now, in the event that there is an afterlife, I should be prepared to live. I think that is what is going to best serve me in an afterlife. Also, for life itself, I should be prepared to live. So, afterlife or not, I should be prepared to live. And how might we prepare to live? Well, here I have a list of 7 steps, and let me go through these one at a time. The first step is take care of yourself. Stay safe, fit, and healthy. Second step, enjoy pleasure and have fun. Third step, develop self-esteem and courage. Fourth, love life, yourself, and others. Open your heart to joy and compassion. Number 5, express yourself honestly and authentically. Number 6, envision possibilities and seek after insight, clarity, and truth. And the last one here, find meaning and purpose in life. Honor your inner calling. As Joseph Campbell would say, follow your bliss. I may expand on these in a future video, but for now, thank you for watching.